Say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher.
Come on, baby, light my fire. Alright, people, so I wanted to do another Mustang video, just give a quick update. Alright, so on the car 3 months now. I have exactly 3,054 miles on the clock. And I've learned quite a lot about this car. Usually when somebody says that, it's usually going to be really bad. But here's what I've learned so far. This car is fucking awesome. I've owned it 3 months now, and I'm still finding out shit about it. And it's good shit, you know? So what have I done so far? I actually don't drive this car much during the week. Well, I drive it every day, but I just drive to just from home to work, so I don't really put that much miles on it during the week. But every now and then I'll take a really long road trip with it. So far I've brought it up to Beals Gap, drove the Tail of the Dragon, drove the Blue Ridge Parkway with it, did some other big drives with it, a couple mountain roads. And yeah, there's some other stuff I did, but I can't really say that. But anyway, I've discovered a lot of stuff about this car. The first thing I discovered was the tire pressure that these cars come with. At least mine did. Mine came with the tires set at 40 psi all around. When you actually start really driving it, and you get it into a road with corners, you'll notice that it starts understeering a lot, right? So all I did was that I lowered the tire pressures by 4 psi at the front and 2 at the back. World of difference. And trust me, it might not seem like a lot, but try. Instantly all the understeer just vanished and the car just gripped and went, you know. Currently I found the best setting to be 33 in the front, 36 or 37 at the rear, and that seems to give the best traction overall. The other thing I noticed about this car is I got a very interesting warning message while driving it up in the hills. It gave me a message saying that the rear axle temperatures were too high, please slow down. Which is really cool that they actually do that. They have temperature sensors in the differential to pick up whenever you're pushing it a bit too hard, and it will give you a warning thing on the dash. I did some more research into this, and it turns out there's also a temperature sensor in the transmission, and it will do the same thing if the transmission temperatures get too hot. If you ignore that message, what happens next is that the car will go into limp mode in order to save the transmission and rear diff, and it just will not allow you to use any other power until the system cools down, which is a pretty interesting feature and very cool that they actually did that. Did some more digging, and it turns out that during the testing of this car, Ford had actually discovered that these rear differentials and the transmission has a temperature of running, has a tendency to run really high temperatures when you really push them. It's not a big deal for 99% of the driving that you'll do with this car, and for all the people who do drive this car will probably never ever see that error message ever. They did solve the problem on the GT 350s, but only on the track packs, because those come with the oil coolers and for both the transmission and rear differential. So with all of that in mind, I decided to, since I have a performance pack, I have a theory that the performance pack and the GT 350Rs actually use the same rear differential. Went up to the Ford dealer and asked them about it. They said, well, the part numbers look different, which I guess, yeah, that makes sense. But they weren't 100% sure if they're interchangeable. So then I went to look under the GT350R, because my dealership actually has those cars just sitting there. So I went and looked under the GT350R to see how it's set up, because I have a theory that it's just the rear case is all you need to swap and get the oil cooler, the oil lines, and the oil pump, and then you can bolt all of that to the regular GTs. Fortunately, I wasn't able to see shit because it has a belly pan under there that the regular GTs don't have for better aerodynamics. So wasn't able to see that or confirm that theory. I'm going to continue doing some more research into it, and if worse comes to worse, I'll just design some. Spoke to the dealers about if something like that would void the warranty, and they weren't really sure. They think it might, but that's all they could give me. So anyway, that's all I had to give you. 3-month update. The car is awesome. I love it to death. I haven't had anything really weird happen to it. Only issue I noticed is after driving it on a long road trip, the backup camera sometimes doesn't come on, which is kind of weird. It gets finicky. So apart from that, everything is good. Love the car. It's awesome. Thanks for watching.